All right, welcome into another episode of the Lowdown Sports Show. I'm your host, Drew,
I'm BJ.
and this show is brought to you. Oh my goodness. I just botched the whole beginning here. What's going on here? I just was so backwards. Let's rewind and start this thing over. All right, welcome into another episode of the Lowdown Sports Show where we get the lowdown on all things basketball. I'm your host, Drew.
I'm BJ. I think we did this part all right now.
I know we did just do this.
uh,
And this show is brought to you by T Public, Fanatics, and newly partnered SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a ticket app
Wowee.
that takes the confusion out of buying tickets. Use our code The Lowdown in all caps for $20 off your first order.
Look at that. How
Man,
about that? Drew, I've got I didn't even know that you had that we have got this opportunity today, but I had already bought.
surprise.
I think, yeah, it's a wonderful surprise. I had already used SeatGeek to get myself some baseball tickets. I'm going to see the first
Mm,
place American League West Texas Rangers next weekend. Going to
okay,
be
go
seeing
Rangers.
them. Yeah, I'm going to see them take on Toronto, and I also had purchased concert tickets. I think last year. The concert's been rescheduled and rescheduled, and it will be going on in 2024, early 2024 now as a result. But yeah, I've been using SeatGeek for a long time. Welcome to the show, guys.
There you go. Heck yeah, brother. We got a big show today. Talking some NBA stuff. I've got a little game that I'm gonna go ahead and just give out that I'm playing today. That
Oh,
BJ's gonna be
really?
playing along with. It's gonna be fun. It's an NBA Finals game.
Oh, okay.
So be on the lookout for that. We're gonna be doing that early in this NBA segment. Also talking LeBron to Dallas, maybe.
Oh,
Could we be
maybe.
seeing Bron in the AAC?
Uh,
Maybe.
no,
Who
no. Wait.
knows?
Oh,
I
wait.
don't know. Kyrie
Well,
wants him
maybe.
here, so we'll see.
Will Kyrie even be coming back? Is the question.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
we'll
we'll
ask. We'll
see.
talk. We'll talk.
Chris Paul getting sent out of Phoenix? Oh man, Chris Paul looking for a new home. Where will that be?
Is Boston calling,
I
perhaps?
don't know. A lot of
Mm.
people are going to be calling for the point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Also talking some Satou Sabally. Satou Sabally having a breakout season so far. One of the top scorers in the league and just doing it all for the Dallas
Mm-hmm.
Wings. Going to talk about her and some of the early standouts in the league alongside Satu, but mainly Satu today. But we're going to mention those as well. And we got some early injuries in the league as well that's kind of
Mm.
hurting some teams.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, BJ. Oh, unfortunate.
I don't like
Um,
that.
but yeah, got to see what some teams are going to be able to do to survive some of those injuries for a little bit of time. But we'll get to all that here in a bit. We've also got BJ's best what's on Drew's mind, and we're also playing with it or quit it
Oh yeah, I've got some hot takes for Drew to react to in
again.
this installment of With It or Quit It.
Oh,
Get
baby.
get your clips ready, boys and girls.
Ready to get rocking? Yes, indeed.
I'm
All
ready,
right,
man.
BJ. So we're going to start with this LeBron to Dallas stuff, BJ. Kyrie Irving is the one that's got this
Mm-hmm.
stirred up for us, BJ. He apparently hit his boy LeBron up and said, "Let's come over to Dallas. Join me and Luca here. So you don't need LA. I went to those playoff. He didn't say this part. I went to those playoff games. I saw what you guys had out there. I mean, nice little turnaround, but we've got Luca and me. You know what I can do. Come over here with me and him. You know you like him. He likes you. I like you. You like me. We won a championship. He wants a championship. We can all get a championship. And it sounds all good. BJ, you want LeBron in Dallas?
So this is like a kid.
Make it happen, Mark Cuban.
This is
Get
like a
on the phone.
this is like a kid on Christmas saying what he wants Santa Claus to bring him, Drew. There's really no chance that this is gonna happen. As much as you want it to happen. I know you would love your favorite player in the league to be on your favorite team, so you don't have to bandwagon two teams. Well, it
Oh,
wouldn't be
I would be
bandwagon two teams, but you'd be able to just support one team and one team
My most locked in Dallas Mavericks season ever, just like him.
ever.
And
And
I'm a huge fan of Kyrie too, and also
yeah.
love Luca. Like I would just be like, my
Well,
heart would just be so full.
now the question is, if LeBron did come to Dallas, would that mean that he'd be doing everything in his power to make sure Mark Cuban drafted Bronny as well, so that
I
the
mean, what's
two
so
could play
bad
together?
about that? We
I
need him
didn't say
too.
I didn't say there was anything bad about it,
Okay,
but I don't
just
think the Mavericks have the pick is the problem, Drew.
we can make something shake to make it
Well,
happen.
if you trade for LeBron, you already are
Make it
limited
happen.
on what you've got available to you, and you're going to give up even more to try to bring in LeBron. I get where
Yes,
you're talking about.
yes.
I would love if you could make if you
We
could
must
just like
win now.
say we're
We
gonna
must win.
we're gonna give you THJ, we're gonna give you Dwight Powell, we're gonna give you all these guys that
Nobody
we
wants
don't
Dwight Powell.
want. Exactly.
We'll give you cash considerations instead of Dwight Powell because you'll release him anyway.
We'll give you a bag of chips. The equal equivalent of Dwight Powell is a $2.99 bag of chips that you can get over at the 7-Eleven across from the
Just put him in a
AAC.
suit and put him on your sidelines or something. People like his face, so I mean he can help out with the overall look of the bench
Give him give
for
him
whatever
the
team he goes to.
give him the what do they have the the women there that shoot the t-shirts into the stands? You know what
Oh,
I'm talking about?
give him like the gun for the
Yeah,
mascots that come out.
the t-shirt cannon or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be part of the mascot's entourage and be
Dang.
throwing t-shirts into the crowd.
Sheesh, BJ. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, I'm
Man,
just
dude.
trying to. If he's not going to be on the team in LA in this trade,
I was trying to give him a
hypothetical trade.
coaching role, and you're like, yeah, get him out there at halftime shooting the T-shirt
Well,
gun to
hey,
the fans.
at least I didn't say he could be
Dang,
on the court, but
that's
like
crazy.
mopping the court when somebody takes a tumble or
Eh,
something like that.
I mean, either one is both of those are quite a demotion. I was trying to give him like par with what he's, or as close to par as he can get. He might be bogey in the situation.
Yeah, I know. I'm obviously we're a little bit messing around, but there's just not a whole lot that the Mavericks have available to them that they could trade to the Lakers to get LeBron. I mean, if Kyrie wants to, talk about this possibility when LeBron becomes a free agent because he's got 1 year left on his deal, right, Drew? He's only got a year left, I think, or did he re-up for 2 more
I believe
seasons?
he's got a year left.
Yeah. So I mean, if he wants, if
Yeah, he
Kyrie
does.
wants to
1 year,
lock
forty
himself
six
in
point
here,
nine million.
yeah, if Kyrie wants to lock himself into Dallas and be around for a couple years, um, that's part of the reason why I said, is Kyrie even going to be here? Is
Well, I
he
mean,
talking
if
about
he's
all of
if
this?
if he's recruiting him to Dallas, I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be like in if you don't come here, then I'm leaving situation. Which I mean, we should always have in mind the possibility of Kyrie leaving anyway. But
Yeah.
we just gotta have the high hopes that he wants to play with this super mega star right here and try and recruit somebody else. I mean, he's got the pull in the league to bring in another star, and if he can
Hmm.
bring in a fish like LeBron, I mean, like, that's probably the most likely guy that you could get that wants to be there that just loves both of the players because like how many people like a lot of people love Luca but not everybody loves Kyrie and how many players realistically would want to come play with him not just like for the you know play situation but just I don't know
Yeah.
um
And you saw what the comments that LeBron made back in 2020 that resurfaced right after the news came down about Kyrie trying to recruit LeBron to Dallas, where he was
yeah
talking about wanting to sign Luca to a shoe deal and talking. He said, and I
yeah
quote, "Luca is one of my favorite players in the NBA today. From the simple fact of how I play the game is why I love the way he plays the game. Team first,
yep
gets his guys involved. If you challenge me to score, I'm going to score and keep my guys involved at the same time. But I play for the team and a sense of joy." I mean that it definitely is interesting that he made those comments a few years ago, and now that
I
Kyrie's here
remember
and
that
trying to recruit him, I remember when he said it too. I
yeah
just never really thought that outside of like the All Star game setting, there was going to be the opportunity for the two of them to play together. Of course, I didn't ever expect Kyrie to be a Dallas Maverick. So
Yeah, and BJ, there is. I mean, you could call this mutual interest because I mean, you take the look at here what Bleacher Report put out. The Mavericks were preparing to make an offer for LeBron James last season when the Lakers were spiraling and having a bad season before, they made all those trades to really change the trajectory of their year.
Yeah,
So
and
I
I mean,
mean, Mavs wanted Braun already.
yeah,
So I mean, if Luca loves Braun, that's his favorite player. He would obviously love to play him. Kyrie's inviting him to town. Mavs
hmm
already thought about trading for him. So I mean, like, so they've been working through scenarios probably for a while. And then once this
and
comes back up, things could be like momentum could be shifting.
it could be,
To where
and
it's
think
starting to
about
pick up.
this. Think about this because, you know, LeBron's a businessman. He loves doing business and loves wants at some point he's going to be a general manager. You just have to know that that's going to happen when he is done playing. He's in a position if he comes to Dallas, he's going to be able to keep more of his earnings. There's no state income tax, and he'd be able
Yep.
to, not have to pay as much off of his contract like he does playing out in LA, playing for the Lakers. So I mean, there's a lot of good reasons, and I mean, you just think about this, Drew. If this were to happen, let's play the game out and say, if this were to happen, you would talk about the Mavericks going from a place that quote nobody wants to go to Dallas to being home to Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James all at the same time potentially. Like that's a huge mega shift in the like the pendulum going from one way to the other in quite literally about a decade or so. Because we're talking about that was about 10 years ago when the Mavericks were trying to bring in DeAndre Jordan for the first time, and then the Clippers, basically staged the lock in and made him resign with
Yeah.
Chris Paul and Blake
What a
Griffin,
time.
and his oh man that was something else. But I mean that would be just huge for the Mavericks. But I don't know. I think if we have to put a number on like percentage chance that this happens, I'm gonna lowball it and say 10%, 10 to 15% chance that
Super
this actually
low.
happens.
Well, who knows what BJ the Mavs say that their number one offseason priority is Kyrie Irving. So that'll be the
Mm-hmm.
first
And as it should
order
be.
of business.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Especially, what we gave up to bring him over here. We don't want to lose him
Mm-hmm.
that quickly. And
Yeah.
then, once he's here, I mean, the easier it's easier to sell the Dallas Mavericks thing once you know like, that Kyrie and Luca are locked in over there, and then Braun can be like, okay, he signed over there, he's committed. You know, maybe 1 year over there wouldn't be too bad.
Let me go ahead and say this too for the Mavericks, Drew. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on tape now. If they do bring back Kyrie Irving, I really worry about their depth and their bench, and I don't know what you're going to have available in terms of cap room to help supplant that. I really worry about the future of this team if you bring back Kyrie. You're making that push to go all in. If you don't win a title, it's going to blow up very badly here in 4 to 5 years, and you might not be able to keep Luka Doncic around at that point, as well as Kyrie or LeBron, and it's going to be a long, painful rebuild after we went through such a long, painful rebuild. Right at the last little bit of Dirk's career before Luka was drafted. That's the only thing I've said, and
All suffer for a championship.
I was gonna say if we get a title out of it, it will be worth it. That's just like what with the 2011, how that's helped sustain us all this time as well.
It would be
But
the best big three in the league.
yeah, absolutely.
Let me leave you on the Mavs side of things with this quote, BJ, from
Okay,
Kyrie when he was on the I Am Athlete podcast last year.
okay,
That he has some regrets about how he abruptly left LeBron and the Cavs in 2017.
all
I
right.
didn't know how to share my emotions. I didn't know how to do that. So instead of sharing, I isolated myself. If I was the same maturity line and understanding of who I am, and I look back, we definitely would have won more championships because there would have been a better man to man understanding about what I'm going through, he said.
Yeah, I like it. I think that I think he's done some growing up, and I mean, obviously, nationally, he's still got the reputation from all these places that it hasn't worked out before, and this is hopefully the beginning of him proving that that's no longer who he is.
Indeed. Now on to some Chris Paul point guard talk. That's a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
recent even than the LeBron to
Yeah.
Dallas speculation there. Chris Paul reportedly going to be waived by the Phoenix Suns. Um,
Yeah.
Chris Paul looking for a new home now, BJ, and there's been some speculation already in the Twitter sphere that Chris Paul would be a nice addition to the Dallas Mavericks. If they could execute some type of trade to get him over there. He would probably, come off the bench, and I had said to them once I saw this, post on social media, it just reminded me of when Melo got to OKC. The talk of coming off the bench. I wonder if CP3 would have that kind of thing, you know, because he's always been a starter, the point guard. He's run the show
Mm-hmm.
out there, and he'd be the backup PG out there. I mean, at this point, he knows where he's at, physically, and he always has injuries in the playoffs. It may be good to come in a more limited role and just kind of dominate a second unit, which would be awesome. But there's a lot of suitors coming for Chris Paul, the point
Yeah.
guard. BJ, old CP3's got possible destinations like a Boston maybe.
That's what I had thought at first. And, I mean, you talk about if Boston is going to move off of Jalen Brown just because of how much money he's going to be in position to make now with his, I mean, what, 50 million, Drew? Is that how much he's eligible for with that Supermax contract?
Too
50 mil
much.
a year? Yeah, that's quite a
Too much.
bit. And the Celtics might not be wanting to put that kind of money in, even though he is a really good player, because he's been so hot and cold, I guess is what you really would say. So it's possible that Boston might look for him, but it's a similar situation where if you're Boston, you bring him in, it'd be like Dallas bringing in LeBron. You've got to be in that, and obviously they're a lot closer to that championship than I think the Mavericks are at this point. Um, but you've only got a year or two. Are you really wanting to bring him in for just to see if that puts you over the edge, and if so, is that going to be that missing piece that's going to put you over the edge and get you that title? And I don't know if it is or not. It's certainly worth calling about and seeing. But going back to Phoenix, this is a uh, for Phoenix. Dallas has been linked to wanting DeAndre Ayton. Now you talk about the Mavericks being linked to possibly trading for Chris Paul. Seems like anybody that Phoenix is trying to get rid of is linked to the Mavericks in some form or facet, Drew. So, but I don't think that I see it as much in the Mavericks case for Chris Paul.
Yeah, probably not. But let me give you some teams, BJ, about three or four, and
Mm-hmm.
you tell me where you like Chris Paul the most.
Okay.
Okay? Team
All
number
right.
one, the Miami Heat.
Okay.
Team number two, the Milwaukee Bucks. Team number three, the Los Angeles Lakers. And lastly, team number four, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead. If we're going to treat this like it's a who wants to be a millionaire question, I'm going to use my 50-50 and take options 2 and 3 out because
Okay?
I don't really feel like,
Ching, ching.
yeah, I really don't
Not
feel,
going back to New Orleans. Get that
yeah,
out of there.
I no, Milwaukee and
Oh,
my Milwaukee and the Lakers, because
okay. Ching, ching.
I don't think that the Bucks are needing to replace Drew Holiday.
Well, Drew
And
Holiday's not necessarily a point guard. He's originally a two. He would love to slide over.
true, but are you gonna bring Chris Paul off the bench in Milwaukee? I mean I don't know.
Who's? I mean, he could start.
Yeah,
He could
he
start in
could.
Milwaukee.
It could. And then for the Lakers, I mean it's I don't think Chris Paul wants to necessarily make a habit of following Russell Westbrook's trajectory, where it seemingly he replaced Westbrook when Westbrook left OKC, and Chris Paul single handedly took that young Thunder team to the playoffs, and then would be in that similar position that Westbrook was when he signed with the Lakers before the start of the season.
Okay, no Bucks, no Lakers, Heat, or back in New Orleans.
As much as I like the sentimentalness of the Pelicans, because it would be kind of finishing off his career where he started it,
Hmm.
in terms of talent around and you know the necessity, maybe if that's the right word, the need, it might make more sense to go to Miami.
I like
uh,
that one too. I knew
yeah,
that one was gonna resonate. I was hoping you'd pick that. I mean, you just slide
yeah,
him in there, whether he's a backup to Gabe Vincent
hmm,
or the starter that is the first one to come off the floor and get replaced by him.
yeah.
I think that would be a good little slide in
I
there.
think
And
it would be too. And I mean, when you don't have to, you've got another young player in Jimmy Butler, similar to what you have in Phoenix with Devin Booker. That Chris Paul doesn't have to feel the need to go out and get those buckets unless he absolutely just wants them. You've got another good big man inside in Bam Adebayo, similar to DeAndre Ayton. You've got Tyler Hero to pop over to the corner and make it rain coming off the bench, if they happen to be on the court at the same time. They've got good pieces. This is not, this season may not have been what they wanted in terms of success regular season, but they got it all tuned together at the right time going to the postseason. And I mean, with Spoelstra as their coach, it very easily could see them make another run back next year. They were the 1 seed in the East last year, for corn's sake.
for corn's sake, okay.
Yeah, I think I heard
Um,
that in a SpongeBob episode somewhere.
okay. Are you ready for some NBA Finals trivia?
All right. Well, I know the answer to number one. The answer is nobody other than Nikola Jokic had ever done what Nikola Jokic did last night. But I know that's
Oh,
probably not a question.
that wasn't in there because everybody knows that now, thanks to ESPN stats and info.
Yeah. 30
But
point, 20 rebound, 10 assist, triple double in the NBA Finals. That's just
all right,
crazy. All right,
let's try and get
let's play
this.
some trivia.
Yeah, let's run through this. Do we need to set the mood with some music, BJ?
I mean, yeah, if you've got some appropriate music, that is. Now, if you don't have
All
any
right, we can
appropriate
we'll
music,
just rock with it.
all
Oh
right.
yeah, this gives me intro to a broadcast vibes.
Yeah, it's like a football kind of sound almost.
All right. Yeah, let's rock out here. Okay. Is that too loud? Is it good?
A little bit. I'll see if I can.
All right, you got it. All right, so this first one in this NBA Finals trivia does not involve the current NBA Finals, but the rest of them do.
Okay.
Okay, and this is NBA Finals player trivia.
All right.
Okay, so this one, which NBA player was the first to win 2 NBA Finals MVP awards? And you got 4 options here.
Okay.
Was it Larry Bird, Willis Reed, Michael Jordan, or Wilt Chamberlain?
Well, the answer that I thought it might be is not on there. So when
Ooh.
when was the first Finals MVP?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
given? You can't tell me that.
Nope.
That would give it away, huh?
It's
That would
enough to
it
give
away.
you multiple choice here.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I was going to say Wilt the Stilt, but that doesn't feel right. Let me go with Willis Reed of the New York Knicks. That would be my final answer.
Hey, good call, good call. Way to trust your judgment there, BJ.
All right.
All right.
Good deal.
A new one. This one does involve the current 2023 NBA Finals, BJ.
All right.
Player trivia. First one up, Jeff Green. Uncle Jeff Green. You like Jeff Green, BJ?
I mean, never had a problem with him, Drew, if that's what you're asking.
No, I mean just like as a player. You like his game?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
good.
Me too. Well, BJ, he's been around the league, and he's been in it for a while. He's about as old as LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
He's played with a lot of talent, BJ, as he's been around the league during this time.
Mm-hmm.
And he has played with 8 different MVPs, 3 of whom he teamed up with multiple times with different franchise. BJ, Can you name the 8 MVPs that Uncle Jeff Green has played with in his NBA career? You've got a gimme right now because he's playing with one in Denver.
Yeah, obviously Nikola Jokic is going to
Nikola
be
Jokic.
one. Yeah.
Nikola Jokic. You can
Okay.
jot him down.
Yeah, I like
Jokic.
that. Yeah, we gotta get the music back on before I turn the loop. That's
All
one of
right.
the downsides, but
All right, Beach, you got one.
all right, let's see. I'm really gonna draw a blank now. Did he play a year with the Mavericks and Dirk Nowitzki by chance?
You're not.
Ah, man. Okay. So I got 7 to go. He's teamed up multiple times with multiple different MVPs. How about he's been in the league as long as LeBron James has? Did he ever happen to play with LeBron James? I don't think he
did.
Oh, he did. Okay,
That is
good.
your second MVP.
All
Good
right.
job, BJ.
Woo!
All right.
All right.
We got
so
6 more.
I've
got the ding. Don't worry about it. Just answer the question.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so he's played with Nikola Jokic and LeBron James. Did he play a season with Kevin Durant, perhaps?
Yes, he did. There you go, BJ.
Right.
You got 3.
I've got
All right,
3.
5 more.
All right, let's see if we can really, really find the willpower here.
He played with Kevin Durant in Seattle.
Wow. That is a throwback. I thought that might.
He wasn't an MVP yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that might have been where it would have been because I didn't think he'd been in with him in OKC or anything like that.
All right, you got 5 more. Let's get
5
through this.
more. Okay.
All right, you got Jokic, LeBron, and KD.
How about Timmy Duncan? Did he ever play with Tim Duncan?
He did not.
Okay.
I'm not playing that one.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Come on, BJ.
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose?
Yeah.
That's 4, BJ. There you go. He played with
right.
him on the Cavs.
That's right. I forgot about that. I'm just trying to go through, like, in my mind, going back through the MVPs.
You're halfway there, brother. This is
Derrick.
easy. Some of them are easy. There's some that might be hard to you. But you're halfway there.
He didn't play a year with Steph Curry, did he?
He did not.
Okay, I didn't think so. All right, let's see. Let me go back further.
All right, I'll give you teams to try to help you out.
Okay.
OKC Thunder, Boston Celtics, Houston Rockets, Brooklyn Nets.
Okay. Did he play a season with Russell Westbrook?
Russell Westbrook. He's got 5
There's 5. All right.
3 more.
3 more. And you said that he played in Cleveland, Brooklyn, and where else?
You missed him. Sorry.
No, I heard him.
Helping you too much. Come on, 3 more.
How about Paul Pierce? Is Paul Pierce on the list?
He's not even an MVP, sir.
I was going to say, I didn't think he did, but I thought maybe if he did, it was 08.
Think about his teammate.
Yeah. Kevin Garnett, maybe?
There you go, BJ. There's 6.
There's 6. Okay. So we got 2 more to go.
2 more.
Oh, my goodness.
Kevin Garnett was one of the hard ones.
Yeah. Figured. All right. Brooklyn Nets.
If you get this next one, if you get one of these Nets, these last 2, then I will help you get the last one.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Brooklyn Nets.
Oklahoma City Thunder.
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter is not an MVP, sir.
Okay, I forgot. I thought he might have won an MVP award. All right, let's see here. Brooklyn Nets. Was it Brooklyn Nets in Brooklyn or Brooklyn Nets in New Jersey, Drew?
Ignore Brooklyn Nets.
Okay. All right, so Celtics and the Cavs
I
then.
just gave you a gigantic hint. What's that state above us, BJ?
Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay.
All right. I thought that's where Russell Westbrook came from, honestly.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, is that your
I,
answer? Oh, that counts. Well, there
I
you
thought
go.
didn't I already say Russell Westbrook?
No,
I thought I did.
no, you didn't say Russ.
Oh, I
You
don't
didn't
know
say
how I
Russ.
didn't. I swear I
You
did.
gave me KD. Maybe that was where you were thinking with Thunder.
Yeah, but I swear I also said Westbrook too.
You've given me oh wait.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
think I
given
did.
me?
I thought I did. I thought I did.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I remember the other one that you don't have now. Okay, sorry. Continue. This other MVP did play with Russell Westbrook though. Here's your hint.
Okay. All right. Let's see who would have won while playing at some point with Westbrook. Harden didn't win an MVP.
Yes,
he
he
did.
did.
That's
Come
right.
on, BJ.
That's right.
MVP.
That's
All right, so you got
Okay.
one more. This
right.
last hint to help you out here. This is a Hall of Fame player. He was a journeyman later in his career after he won 4 championships, and he eventually played for the Boston Celtics with Jeff Green.
Journeyman player, played 4 titles, played with the Celtics with Jeff Green.
Later in his career.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm trying to think. He won 4 titles, and then ended up with the Celtics. Good grief.
Won a championship in 2006.
Shaq?
Yes, indeedy, baby. There you go. Oh, buddy.
Oh,
You finally made it to the finish line.
Ooh, that was a man. That hurt the
That
brain,
was
man.
good.
That hurt the brain. I swear,
Oh.
I'm not as stupid as it looked in that game.
I love it. Well,
Oh,
PJ, the game is not over.
Oh.
You've got more trivia.
Oh no.
PJ, for this current NBA Finals, we're still here.
Okay.
Can you name the 4 players on the Denver Nuggets who have played 10 or more years in the NBA? One of those, you get a freebie, is Jeff Green.
Jeff Green, yeah. So that's
We
we
got 3
3
more.
3 more. Okay. Jokic is not quite there. He's close though,
Nope.
right? Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. Oh dear. All
If
right.
you want to go to their box score, you can.
Okay.
But that is the only place that you can go.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Look at names.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Hadn't Aaron Gordon been in the league for 10 years?
8 years.
8 years? Wow. Feels like he's been in the league a lot longer than that.
I'm only a month older than Aaron Gordon.
That is incredible. That's incredible. All right, Bruce Brown has to have been in the league for 10 plus years, Drew.
No, sir.
No.
4 years, 3J.
4? Really?
4
Maybe
years.
Bruce Brown is just a little bit more common than I thought it was. Maybe I'm thinking of Bruce Bowen. Well, DeAndre Jordan has to have been in the league for over 10 years.
DeAndre Jordan.
Yep,
There you go, buddy.
I'm on the
All
board.
right, you're
All right.
halfway there.
Halfway
You
home.
get 2 more. These other 2 are guards.
Okay, other 2 are guards. Well, Ish Smith has to be one, right?
Oh, baby. Ish.
He's cooking now.
Number 3. You got one more.
Is it Reggie Jackson, Drew?
Boy, oh boy, it's Reggie Jackson. Hey, we got through those a little bit faster than the other one. There you go. All right, more trivia. BJ, which 2 players, one on the Nuggets, one on the Heat, were teammates in college?
Teammates in college, huh?
Teammates
Okay.
in college.
Let's see here. All right. Let's see here. Was it No, it wouldn't have been. Yeah.
Would you like a hint?
Sure. I'd love a hint, Drew.
Their college colors were blue and white.
Well, see, I was thinking it's Kevin Love has got to be one of them, but I just don't know which. No. Okay. So it's not UCLA then. Is basically what you're telling me. Okay. Let's see here.
Blue and white.
Blue
What
and
big time school is blue and white, BJ?
There's a few that are blue and white.
Well, spit them out.
Would it be Duke by chance? No. Okay. North Carolina by chance? Nope. Kentucky.
Ding.
All right. Well, didn't.
Come
Okay. Come on. Let's see who we
You
got.
got this, BJ.
Kentucky. Michael
Which
Porter
two
was
players
not.
were teammates?
Wasn't. No.
One on the Heat,
One on
one
the
on the
Heat.
Nuggets.
All right. Well, let's see here. No, he didn't go there. Nope. 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 All right. Let's see. I forgot he went to. Yeah. Oh my goodness, man! Oh man. Man, I'm drawing a blank here, Drew. To be honest with you. Two teammates went to Kentucky. Trying to think who would have been, because he wasn't on Kentucky. He wasn't on Kentucky.
Oh no, BJ. I'm sorry. I take that back.
It's not Kentucky?
Well, I was wrong. They were 1 year apart. So we'll nix that question. It was Bam Adebayo and Jamal Murray.
I was about to
Jamal
say, I
Murray
didn't
had
think
the
that they
1
were
year.
teammates.
My bad. My bad.
Okay. All right.
It's my
All
fault.
right. You're making me go crazy over here, Drew, questioning myself. Like, there's no way it was this.
I should have double checked myself. Let's hope that that this one lines up too.
All right.
Which two players on the Miami Heat? Now I'm kind of scared when I want to check it out. We'll run with it though, just in case. Which two players on the Miami Heat played in college together?
Okay. Let's see here. Miami Heat.
I should have double checked this.
Yeah. Is it not accurate either, Drew?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm searching still though.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
That's so funny though. Oh man. All right. As soon
Okay.
as this loads. Okay, no, this is right. This is good. This one's good. I was nervous a little bit. Come on, BJ, you got this.
All right. Come on. Come on. Let's see here.
Their colors are. Oh my goodness, where is that? This. Red and white.
Red and white, huh?
And their mascot is the same as the football team that I call out here.
Oh, okay. So that helps it out a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. No, I already know.
It's our longest NBA segment ever.
I know. I'm. No, it's not him.
Just fire off some names. With searching, I was hoping for you to just, try and put some names together if you knew some people, but you're sitting here searching. That's what's taking it so long.
Is it Kyle Lowry?
No.
And no. Okay. Well, I know that I know that that's not the right player. The red though is what is kind of throwing me for a loop here.
All right, it's the Arizona Wildcats.
I knew it was Arizona.
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. Indiana Hoosiers.
That's not the same mascot, Drew. You shouldn't have told me it was the same as the team that you called.
I got off. You threw me off. You confused me.
Cody Zeller's one of them. I know that. I was looking.
Cody Zeller and Victor Oladipo. All right.
Yeah.
This is a stinker way to end this.
Oh my goodness.
That stinks.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
I knew Indiana, but I was like, they're not the Wildcats. So when you said red and a team that's the Wildcats, I was like, what? So I was thinking Arizona, and then I couldn't find Arizona. I was like, ah.
all right, it's time for BJ's best.
Oh man, well thank
Good
you,
lord.
Drew. Oh my goodness, what a it was a little bit of a clunker, unfortunately, I know, but I mean, you know, we can't have them all when there's there, Drew, and getting the MVP and going through that was fun as well. So, Drew, today is the 8th of June, and it is a pretty significant calendar event today because, Drew, it is Best Friends Day. You're shaking your head at me? Why are you shaking your head at me, man?
You have been real. You're good going in for the hashtag national stuff too much.
What do you mean too much? There's never too much, man.
Yes, because I can't ever hop into it because now we're doing the same thing again.
Oh no. Well, I can. I
I
was
need
just.
you to start remixing it a little more and stay away from this national stuff a little more.
I.
Because
I. I.
every this is the second or
I
either
was just
way.
saying. This is the only.
Continue.
I did
You
two.
can have this segment.
No, it's all good. I mean, I was gonna say I did this. This is the second week, I think, but I do try to mix it in a little bit better. So I will avoid it next week. All I was going to say, Drew, is this is something that uh, when you talk about best friends, I think that it's interesting. I'm looking at this poll according to a Pew Research poll. 98% of teens say they have one or more close friends, and 78% of them say they have 1 to 5 close friends. That was from 2018. But when you move into adulthood, the ability to make friends does change a little bit, along with your priorities, what you look for in a friend. And so I just kind of, thought I'd ask you, when was the last time you made a new friend, and where do you consider them? Like, is it a close friend? Is it more of an acquaintance kind of deal? What?
The last friend I made? Oh,
Yeah, when was the
I have
last
no clue.
last friend? Was it college, Drew? Was it
I have
college?
no clue. I have no clue.
No idea, huh?
No.
Well, I guess you wouldn't say they're really a good friend then, if you don't know when you made them. Um,
Well, I mean, I just don't consider everybody I encounter or like do
True.
work
No.
with or business or
Yeah.
even a class or whatever with like a friend. So I don't. I
Yeah.
have no
No.
clue in that case because I mean,
Absolutely. I just
been a
didn't
while,
know
I
didn't
guess.
know if you remembered. Okay.
I don't know.
Well, some of the best ways that you can observe Friends Day or celebrating the day, letting your best friends know how much they mean to you. It says you can send your best friend a note. I guess that would also, you could send them a text. I guess that counts. This one is a nice one. You can share a memory or two of you and your friend if you went to the beach one year or something, or if you got together for a picnic. You could do that. There's a lot of movies about friendship that you can watch. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Shawshank Redemption, League of Their Own, Wayne's World, obviously. Or you could even invite your best friend to dinner. And then I just thought that this was a little bit interesting, Drew. Celebrating his birthday today, this broadcast, Drew, would not be possible if it weren't for a man by the name of Tim Berners Lee. He was born on this day in 1955. And do you know what the significance Tim Berners Lee is, Drew?
No clue.
No clue, huh? Well,
No clue.
in 1989, while working with CERN, the British scientist Tim Berners Lee invented the World Wide Web, and what has become of it since then, a lot of good stuff, including our ability to do this show here today. Um, but also obviously there's just a lot of information out there on the information superhighway that wouldn't have been possible had it not been for a nearly 35 years ago, Drew, the invention made of the World Wide Web. Because, computers and computing did exist, and there was a network between the computers before then that usually, I think at that point, was used um, by militaries at that time, or by the military. But it wasn't until Tim Berners-Lee um, basically came together and wanted to be able to connect the computers all across that personal computers were able to access it, and the World Wide Web was born. And now here we are, 35 years later, essentially, and we're doing a podcast, we're doing a show entirely on the World Wide Web. So that is, I trimmed it down just a little bit, and I hope I didn't steal your thunder. I hope you still have something that you'll
I'm
be
always
able.
got something up my sleeve,
I
BJ.
know. I knew that when you threw the trivia at me without any warning, Drew. But that is BJ's best. Make sure you go, and if you can't send a note or give your best friend a call. I know some people don't like to call, but I think this would be the appropriate uh, you know the appropriate time, appropriate day to do such a thing. If your best friend likes to talk on the phone, that is. If not, just shoot them a message and tell them how much they mean to you.
Like it.
Yeah. So that's BJ's best for this week, Drew.
Good stuff, PJ.
Thank you. And happy Best Friends Day to you. I think we are pretty good friends to the point that you
Hey
and I could
yo.
could say that. So
There you go. Happy Best Friends Day. Check your
thank you,
phone.
buddy. All right, it's
Yeah.
over on the charger, so I'll get to it after the
Indeed.
show.
Great BJ's best today.
Yeah.
And I'll tag along with that here in just a bit. Um, but BJ, it's time to tell everybody to get to shopping with our peeps.
Heck
Right?
yeah.
We already told you about them every single week. We mentioned SeatGeek, our new partners. Make sure y'all use the code the Lowdown in all caps, THA Lowdown in all caps. SeatGeek, $20 off your first order. And of course, T Public, there's a sale going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you head over to T Public. We've got the link in our description for all these partners that are alongside us throughout our podcasting journey. If you're checking out the Lowdown in the morning, getting ready for work, what better way to start the day off than sipping that morning coffee in a mug with the Lowdown stamped right on it and getting it on sale? I can't think of a better one. Make sure you represent the Lowdown on your way to work by shopping at the link in the description today.
That's right, Drew. While you're down there in the description checking out our gear over on T Public, perhaps you would like to go and get some merch that is going to honor your favorite team. Obviously, we're going to have a champion crowned in the next couple weeks in both the NBA and the NHL. Go-to spot to get that championship merchandise is over to friends at Fanatics. Those Nuggets look to cap off their best franchise season in history with a title. A brand new team is going to be hoisting the Stanley Cup. Vegas is halfway there with a 2-0 lead. Now's the time to get your conference championship merch. Maybe in another week or so, you'll get the finals branded merchandise. Also, Father's Day's coming up here in a couple of weeks. Head on over to Fanatics. Get yourself a Father's Day hat for your favorite MLB squad, or maybe, just as soon as tonight, perhaps, the winner of the Women's College World Series, those Oklahoma Sooners looked unstoppable. You can get some merch to celebrate the crowns of the ladies' diamond in college softball. Fanatics the place to go for officially licensed merchandise, and even though there's no active promo code at the moment, you can always become a Fanatics MVP to get exclusive weekly deals that are not available for just anybody. So head on over to fanatics.com for officially licensed everything. And Drew, it's now time for what is on Drew's mind this week.
Alrighty, Beach. Appreciate you. Appreciate
Absolutely.
you, my friend. Well, as you of course know, it's National Best Friends Day. We
Hey,
already
look at
mentioned
that.
it.
How about that?
Yeah. Hey, happy National Best Friends Day once again. Sliding on in here for what's on Drew's mind today, BJ. How many people do you have in your life? I mean, you already mentioned me. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. That you
Absolutely.
consider a best friend, whether they be
Well,
a sibling or a parent or a just
yeah,
general best
I
friend.
I was just about to ask if family members
They do
count.
count. They
Okay,
do count.
well, because I was gonna say when. So I obviously I mentioned. I think I mentioned before the show uh, that I had an important decision to make pretty recently, and ultimately ended up turning down a job opportunity. But I consulted with family and with my best friends, and I was thinking just about the number of people that I consulted with to try to get not saying to make the decision for me because ultimately I had the final say, but I valued their input because it affected me and it affected them in a way, and so I wanted to make sure that I was making the right decision. There were a lot of things to consider, and I think ultimately I ended up consulting about 5 or 6 people, including family and really close friends to me, that helped me make the decision. So I think I could say between 5 to 10 people that I consider, up there as, people that I would go to and say, hey, this is what's going on. What do you think I should do?
Hmm.
And that's not even to say that there are people that, I consider really good friends that I wouldn't have gone to. I just figure that, for you, for instance, Drew, I didn't consult you on this matter, but at the same time, it wouldn't have affected our relationship too much that I wanted to burden you with, with helping me make that decision. But I still consider you one of my really best friends, and I have broken news to you before I've told a whole lot of people or publicly before because I value our friendship and I wanted to allow you to know the information before just seeing it like on a Facebook post or seeing it on social media or something like that. So that's the kind of my my relationships with people because you and I both know that I'm not the best in terms of keeping up with things on social media at times. So, it could
Gotta
be
step it
it.
up.
I know. I've heard that. It's just that's just I've got to be better, but that's a different conversation for a different day. But I'm not the kind of person that I feel like I overshare things on social media, and I certainly don't want to overshare.
Mhm.
And so that's why a lot of times, I'd rather consult somebody one on one or talk about something with someone one on one, as opposed to however many people happen to be, you know, keeping up with me on social media, that I may not really not care. Care is not the right word, but they wouldn't have as much of the same value, their opinions on what's going on in my life, as somebody that's a lot closer to me like you and I, basically.
Correct.
So
Well,
that's a long roundabout way of answering that with the number.
right. Well, where I'm actually going today, and I just wanted to toss that in to kind of start things off, is on this National Best Friend Day, we're going to talk about the greatest TV shows about best friends.
Okay.
I don't know how many we'll get through. Probably not too many. Let's just do these first 10 here, and
All right.
I'll go from 10 to 1 on them, and we'll round that out like that. Okay, you ready?
Sounds good. Sounds good. Let's do
All
it.
right. Number 10, Parks and Recreation.
I've heard a lot of good things about this show. Obviously, we wouldn't have all the bacon and eggs you have from Ron Swanson if it weren't for Parks and Rec.
Community.
Heard of this show too, but I haven't watched it.
I have not either. Um, Seinfeld.
I watched a bit of it. It's got good moments and bad moments.
Let me back up a little bit. Parks and Rec premiered April 9th, 2009. Community premiered September 17th, 2009, and Seinfeld premiered July 5th, 1989.
Yeah, so far all three of these shows are off the air now. We'll see if there's any on here that are still going.
This one's kind of still going, but it's a spinoff. So I mean,
Okay,
I guess it's technically not still going then. That 70 show in at number 7. Uh,
Yeah, that's a good one. One of my
they've got,
favorites.
they've got that '90s show now. I haven't seen that one, but some of
Yeah,
the old characters are in it.
I watched the first season. It was pretty good. I'll
Oh,
see
okay, you've seen a
what
whole season of it. Okay,
it was very short. I think it was like 8 to 10 episodes, and they're about 30 minutes. So it was watchable in a day, Drew.
gotcha. That '70s show premiered August 23rd, 1998.
That's one of my favorites. I love that '70s show, especially the first few seasons of it are great.
Right? Oh yeah, it's solid. Number six, The Big Bang Theory.
Seen that one? It's got its good moments and bad moments too. There's a lot of people that are either really enjoy it or really hate it for some reason.
It premiered September 24th, 2007. I have not watched The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd like it, honestly. I get just from what we've talked about. I mean, obviously, there's certain things that you'll like and can appreciate, but I don't know, just based on our conversation, I don't know if that's one that you'd enjoy as much.
Number five, New Girl.
I've seen a little bit of it, and I've been meaning to watch more. I just haven't.
Never seen it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what I've seen, I haven't really noticed like the friend kind of atmosphere to it. So maybe I'm still early on that it hasn't been developed yet.
Premiered September 20th, 2011. All right, number four, How I Met Your Mother.
I've seen that one. It's got really good episodes, and then the last kind of season and a half are just not as good.
Premiered September 19th, 2005.
Hmm. Also
Number
has a
three,
spinoff that's still on, by the way.
mm, number three, The Golden Girls.
I have seen bits of it over the
Never seen
years. Yeah, my grandma enjoyed it, and so
it. Mm.
I watched a little bit of it with her from time to time when I was
Premiered
younger.
premiered 10 years before I was born, BJ, on September 14th, 1985.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Number two, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I haven't seen
Never,
it.
never heard of this.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Premiered
I think I've seen
September
clips actually,
September 17th, 2013.
and I think that's still going, maybe, or
I'm not
like
sure. Question mark.
they are probably near the end, but if I'm not mistaken, I thought they were still. Let's see, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Okay, I guess they did wrap it up a couple years ago.
Okay. Number one. Do you want to take a crack at number one?
Oh, Drew, don't make me do this. Is it Friends by chance?
Friends. Indeed.
I was gonna say
Premiered.
before the list started, if Friends isn't on here, it's a bad list. But I couldn't
Right.
imagine it not being on there when the Friends is literally in the name of the show.
Right. Premiered in September 22nd, 1994.
Yeah, ran 10 seasons. Really, I mean, you I don't know that any of the cast members aren't famous now because of that show. That's how big the show ended up becoming.
Big time. And BJ, that is what's on Drew's mind.
All right, good stuff. So
That's
the best friend day and the best shows that you can watch with your best friends on Best Friends Day. Well, Drew,
Mhm.
we've got to talk some WNBA action here. We still got an undefeated team, but we're going to talk about one of the breakout stars of the season so far, and that's been Satou Sabally, who is third as of right now, Drew, third in the league in scoring with 22.4 points per game, tied with Phoenix's Brittany Griner in a tie for third behind Jewel Lloyd, who still is leading the pack at 28 points per game this season, and Stewie, of course, out there in New York, who is just under 24 points per game.
Yeah, man. Satu's finally putting it all together here
Mm-hmm.
and, really dominating early and always being pretty efficient. When she first got in the league that first season, she was terribly inefficient from everywhere, especially from three. I think it was under 20% that first season, and things just weren't forming early on. And the year before overseas, I mean, she was a EuroLeague MVP. And
Yeah.
we were expecting that type of season last year, but she's mostly just been hampered with injuries over the course of her career.
Hmm.
Beach, but she's starting out pretty healthy so far. This is definitely the best ball of her career. We've seen the flashes over the course of what she's done in her early career so far. I mean, she's a one-time All-Star already.
Hmm.
In that small vacuum of even not getting to play so much, but now she's not only broaching most improved player conversations, but they're talking about her in the MVP conversation a little bit
Yeah.
now. But based on the way she started and the way Dallas is doing well, undefeated at home so far in their first three home games, the team's
Just
never done that in
just one of
in
two teams that's still undefeated at home to this point.
yeah. They're never usually this good at home, and they've never started this good in Wings history. The best they've done is 2-0 at home back in 2018. So it's really good to do that because the crowd is always nice and hefty in the College Park Center, and the fans deserve those wins because that's when they come out in the biggest bulk. When the hype is, when they're selling those extra tickets, buy one get one, buy two get two, whatever, and
Hmm.
then they're packing the park and all that stuff. That's when you
Yeah.
got the most fans. That's when you need to see some dubs and. It'll bring fans back to reorder a ticket for another game where you know in seasons past where you're getting blown out or whatever on the season opener, or like you win the first game but the second game the fans come back, the team plays really bad. Maybe it's the game Enrique kicked the scoreboard or something. um, and it's just one of those ugly dramatic ones, and it deters a fan or something, which
Yeah.
stinks sometimes. But it's a big time for this team because it's always the stands are always filled at the College Park Center. But back to the Satou Sabally side of things, she's been really efficient. On top of this scoring, being a top scorer in the
Hmm.
league so far. Before she went over and played with Fenerbahce, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I sure hope I am. Uh, Satu took an extended stay in Dallas during the late fall and winter and focused on skill development with Wings player development coach Zach Bunchick. Uh, Coach, I think that's the first time I've like said your name like out loud on my platform like this. If I butchered it, please don't be mad at me. Like I'll get it though. I'll get it though. And then maybe we need to make like a fine bucket if we don't get somebody's name right. We got to drop $1 in it, and like whoever we'll we'll do something like that
Well,
to punish me for that.
I would prefer not to because I seem to get them more
No,
wrong than I
I think
should.
that
But
would definitely help though. You got to be more on top of these things. So I'm just trying to be critical.
sometimes it's not because I'm trying to get it wrong. It's either I hear it and I'm gonna say it right and then I slip, or I have forgotten and I don't see like the pronunciation online.
Right, or like I haven't said his name in a while, and like I
Yeah,
just
and then you
forgot that I actually said it right when I said it to him, and I just said it
yeah
wrong on here. So
yeah
maybe it's just me overthinking things, but
it
those
could
things
be
happen
that
from
is very possible.
anyway. Satu has been dynamic, like really truly showing that she is a unicorn, that nickname that she was given early on coming into the league. She's got the wingspan. She can play both sides of the ball. Early on in the season opener, she took on Ryan Howard as a challenge
Hmm.
early in the game, or within that game. She's able to play the 4 and the 5 position if needed. She's kind of a small 4 and 5, but she's like 6'4", so that definitely helps. And it helps out with Natasha Howard out there doing the pick and pop, and popping out and creating some actions. Um, and like Mark Schindler, shout out to Mark. Mark was on the show.
Hmm.
Check it out
Great
through
episode.
his piece on WNBA.com. Make sure y'all go check that out. By the time y'all listen to this and the episode comes out, he wrote this past Friday about Satu. But um, one of the other quotes that I was in the media day for Dallas as well and got to hear this very same thing, and she's been doing it this year. Satu talked about said quote consistency is going to be my thing throughout this year. I can't let one bad game affect my whole trajectory of the week, month, season. Not letting myself get into the state of uh, ever not believing in myself. So Satu's consistency early, and just trying to not let the one loss or the one down game affect her, and just kind of push through. And she's really shown it early on. BJ, people over the years, at least lately, have kind of echoed that they think that Satou Sabally is actually the best player on the Dallas Wings, and it's not Arike Ogunbowale.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think about Satou's performance, and should there be a pecking order with like that? Should it shift to going through Satou Sabally more?
Um, so I mean, the thing about it for Satu, she's having such a great year. It's not just the scoring, Drew. I'm sure you already know this,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
she's second in the league in rebounds so far this year as well, behind Alyssa Thomas, averaging 10.6 rebounds per game, which is ahead of Brianna Stewart, ahead of Alyssa Smith, ahead of everybody else except for Alyssa Thomas. And she is in the top five in steals per game, averaging just a tick under 2 steals a contest. She's up there with Stewie, Jackie Young, Brianna Jones, Jordan Canada, as the traditional names that you would hear in that category. There's overall, Drew. When you're talking about a player that's in the top five in three or more different categories, that is, you're talking about players that are, you know, historically speaking, at least, in conversations for the MVP. And so, absolutely, I think she should be mentioned in that. Now, I think for her and for the Wings, you know, a lot of people have talked about changing up the pecking order. I think that it should stay where it is, because if you start to go to Satou as number one, the more attention is going to be drawn to her, and then the looks will open back up for Rike. I'd really think that it works better the way they've got it right now, where Rike is still drawing a lot of attention. Now Satou is going to get more attention just because of the way that she's started off the season balling out, but if you still have Enrique as the number one option, then you've got, if she's going to get more attention to her, that's going to allow for Satu and other team makers to step up and make plays. I think it's working just fine the way it is, and I don't think I would want to necessarily change up the pecking order now. You just want to be able to, if you're Enrique, if you're Satu, and you're getting the attention, you still got to keep your eye open and look for whoever's got the better matchup, whoever's got the open shot. If they try to double, I mean, I don't have a problem with them saying that she should be number one in the pecking order. But if it's working right now, and she's being able to continue to get these kinds of results, I don't want to fix something that's not broken, Drew.
ain't fair enough. It'll just, I mean, it all ultimately depends on what the coaching staff wants
Mm-hmm.
to do. But last season, BJ, the team started off 4-0 on the road. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of those at that time you're probably thinking, if that's not broke, don't fix it.
That's
But
true.
they brought in Tierra McCowan. They
Big
started
T.
changing the kind of the pecking order there, and she started starting, and some plays started going through her, and the Wings started. The stuff started to shift, in the favor of the Wings later in the season, and they ended up finishing, 500.
True.
I like that the early lineups that were working, for the Wings, when they were 4-0 on the road. But the changes, they ended up working as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
It's an ebb and
Dallas,
flow kind of
they may
thing.
have an open mind to it, but
Mm-hmm.
they will probably, and maybe since it's LT's first year, they'll probably stick with what's working. And if
Yeah,
it doesn't,
that's when
stay,
things are going to change.
yeah,
Yeah.
if it doesn't, stay on track, then they'll probably start pursuing, other ways to go about, how they wanna win games. But right now, like you're right, it is working. Dallas is looking good. Satu looks good, and it's been big time. The only thing that hasn't helped out Dallas is the injuries, but the injuries have been throughout the course of the WNBA. BJ, they're getting some stuff here and there everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had one. I play fantasy, and I'm trying to double check the injury here for this first one I want to give you. It doesn't have it on ESPN, but it does have it on, oddly enough, my fantasy team. Um, so Ari McDonald, we're gonna go through some teams here, or I will. on the WNBA side of things with the injuries throughout the league early on. Ari McDonald is going to miss 3 to 4 weeks with a torn labrum,
Mm.
um, reported by the Next Hoops, Gabriella Lewis. Seeing this on the fantasy app here. I can't not checking it online. I don't know if the team has put it out, but
Yeah,
Danielle Rob,
I see it on the injury list. It doesn't have a comment, but it has her
yeah,
listed.
Danielle Robinson's also been out for a bit with a knee injury and just had successful left knee. I just ah, ah
Arthroscopy.
there you go. I can't spit it out. That's not even a hard word. It's just weird. The Chicago Sky. Ruthie Hebert's been out. I believe she had a child. She was out on maternity. Um, she just returned to practice on Tuesday. Morgan Burt still dealing with an ankle injury. Christina Nigwe out. Obviously, Izzy isn't expected to return anytime soon with her meniscus injury, and Rebecca Gardner is still out for the Sky. But the Sky is still winning some games, and like
Yeah.
like James Wade said in the one question response to our buddy Mark Schindler, who we were talking about earlier,
Hmm.
he don't plan on fucking losing, and no matter what the injuries going on right now, Chicago Sky are doing some winning, and they came back on the Liberty recently. I think they were
Hmm.
down by 17
18,
points,
I
BJ,
thought. Yeah.
17, 18 points, and came back and got the dub over the super team New York Liberty. Hmm.
Hmm. Just their
James,
second loss of the year, I think.
James Wade doesn't like to hear super teams though.
No, no, no,
And
no.
Dallas Wings starting to get some injuries as well. They started off with Lou Lopez and Diamond DeShields, out, and they're still out. Crystal Dangerfield went down with an ankle injury recently, and she's day to day.
Yeah.
The current status right now.
It was
Indiana
19,
Fever.
by the way. Sorry.
Okay, we were close. Indiana Fever just got one. Nothing that's happened during the season so far that was earlier.
Hmm.
Sparks got some recent stuff. Janae, day to day, been out. Jasmine Thomas hasn't come back, and Katie Lou Samuelson still out on maternity. The Lynx, Achanwa, still not with the team yet, and Diamond Miller got an MRI that confirmed her diagnosis of a sprained right ankle, and she'll be reevaluated in the coming weeks. Per Mitchell Hansen of the Canis HoopUS.com. Um, Phoenix Mercury, Mariah Jefferson is day to day with an ankle injury. Skylar Diggins Smith still out with maternity,
Maternity.
and
Yeah.
Maisha Hines Allen. She was back recently, and Coach Tebow said Hines Allen looked better Wednesday and will travel with the team on their upcoming 3-game road trip. So there you go. So
Yeah.
it's not a crazy amount of injuries, but a
Hmm.
little injury riddled early for like the first 2 to 3 weeks of
Yeah.
this season. Um, and a couple of teams that really couldn't afford them,
Yeah.
i.e., the Dallas Wings and Chicago Sky, but both BJ still
Both
winning games,
still winning games. Yeah. I mean,
still winning games.
and you hope that that will just give them more firepower when their players are able to return. I mean, as much as they're able to do without them so far. All the depth and everything as well.
Man, and BJ, the voting is out for fans to be able to vote for WNBA All Stars, and I casted a vote for the Lowdown. Do you want to know who I voted
Yeah,
for us?
go
And
ahead.
tell
I'm
me if you
sure.
agree with these names.
I was just saying, I'm sure I will, but I will let you know if I have any major complaints.
All right, in the front court, Asia Wilson,
Hmm.
pretty justifiable.
Absolutely justifiable.
Brianna Stewart,
Yeah.
sounds pretty good. She's
Yeah.
second leading scorer in the league.
Hmm. Yeah.
Satou Sabally
I love
gets
it.
her second
Yes.
nod.
Yes.
Brittany Griner been
Hmm.
balling. She's the fourth leading scorer in the league,
Yeah.
putting up some numbers.
Tied with Satu, actually, tied for third. Yeah.
Oh, tied. Excuse me.
Hmm.
Wings just beat her team though.
Hmm.
Um, Elena Deladon, who's been hooping and healthy, coming back,
Yeah.
and Alyssa Thomas.
Man, you spot on, Drew. I don't have a problem with anybody that you put
Okay,
on this list.
backcourt. Harike Gunbawale.
I like it. I like
You
it.
like that?
Yeah.
Tied with Neka Gumake for,
Hmm.
which I guess would technically be what, fifth or sixth on this list with all those ties. Don't know. One of the leading scorers in this league. alongside Jewel Lloyd, who is the leading
leading
scorer in the
scorer.
league
Yeah.
with 28 a game. Seattle not winning too much, but she's balling out there to keep things alive, and they had a
Well,
big comeback
yeah,
not too
21.
long
They were
ago.
down
21
18.
points.
Yeah, that was like just yesterday, I think, or Tuesday.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
And these last two, BJ, Ryan Howard and Jackie Young.
Yeah.
Jackie Young, one of the top leading
Hmm.
scorers in
I
this
think
league,
fifth,
top
right?
five. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't. This is.
What do you
I
think
mean,
about
this.
the
This.
Lowdown's All Star team?
I was gonna say that sounds pretty much exactly like my All Star team. I like I said, I didn't figure I'd have a problem with it, but I mean that's spot on, Drew. I think so far what we've been able to, encapsulate this season, I think these are the most deserving players for the All Star ballot, and I'm kind of surprised that we're able to vote this early, but maybe we're getting closer to that All Star game than I really recognize. It just
Right,
doesn't
yeah,
feel
just a
like
little
it.
over a month, man.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's that close. It really doesn't.
It really doesn't. Well, BJ, that's all the WNBA stuff that I got. Shout out to Satou for killing it this season. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Heck yes. Heck yeah. Well, Drew, before we go, are you ready to play a little game?
Little game? Okay.
Yeah, you got to
I'm
play. We
down.
got to. You got to play a little game. I mean, you gave me some trivia. Now
Was it this one? Hold on. You got the wrong music.
I thought I played that one for With It or Quit It last time.
Oh no, we night driving for Wiki. I actually
Wiki.
checked before the
Okay.
episode started.
Okay. All right. So we night driving for Wiki this time around, and we'll do it again uh, for the foreseeable future, I guess. So
Because I think we did rock when you did the game during BJ's best.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Now that you mention it, I'm just so used to that's the one I had picked. But all right, we got a little game. We got a game called With It or Quit It. I've got 5 questions here for Drew, and he's got to let me know
I will.
if he is with it or if he's going to quit it.
Mhm.
All right, and like I told you in the open, one of these is going to be. I think if we clip that, it's going to be either a very good response or a very bad response.
Oh,
I'm just
buddy.
gonna warn you now.
Possible viral moment coming up.
Mate, I'm not. We don't try for viral moments. Viral moments that we try for aren't organic and viral. So, all right, let's start off, Drew, with number 1. I think I know the answer to this. I don't think I've asked you though.
Good.
Pineapple on pizza, with it or quit it?
I've asked you this before.
That's right.
Quit
And
it.
I
for
quit
sure.
it. Yeah, I quit it too.
Disgusting.
I was to say that actually was one that was suggested to me.
Are you keeping your wiki questions now?
I am keeping my wiki questions.
Okay, cool.
So, but this was also a listener sent in question as well. So I thought I knew the answer, but I just wanted to make sure. So Drew is quitting pineapple on pizza. You hear that? I'm not the only one.
I'm quitting, but I'm not quitting.
You are quitting.
Yeah.
You are
Right.
quitting.
I quit it.
Yeah, you quit the pineapple on pizza, and I am not the only one.
Aye.
All right, Drew. Number 2. In the next 5 years, Drew, we are going to see the NBA announce that they are going to expand. Are you with it, or are you going to quit it? Within the 5 years' time from right now, we will be getting a couple more teams to the NBA, potentially up in Seattle, Vegas, Nashville. There's a few options, but we don't know where it would be, but we'll have at least the announcement within 5 years that the NBA will expand. We might not have the
at
teams.
least an announcement. Oh yeah, I'm with.
Yeah.
I can go. I can be with that then.
Yeah.
Because
We'll
I
announce the
wasn't gonna be
expansion.
with it if you didn't put that in there.
Yeah.
Like, have a
NBA
team, like I don't
We'll
know.
announce expansion within the next
Yeah,
5 years. There will.
I can
I
get
don't
with
think
that.
don't think we'll have the team at that point yet. But
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah, I think I can go with that. I can get with that because everybody wants the Sonics back, and that'll
Yeah.
probably be one of the first ones to come back. It'll
Mhm.
probably be Seattle and Vegas if NBA gets 2 teams to add.
you don't think Nashville's a viable option?
It's not the first 2 to come to mind now.
That's true, yeah. All right, Drew. Number 3. You, Mr. Drew Ivory,
It's me.
would rather lose your sense of taste over being able to see color. So you would rather lose your taste bud than become colorblind, essentially. With it or quit it? I
I'm
asked
gonna
this
go
big.
with
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna go with quit it.
Okay, so you would
I'd rather
rather
see black
become
and white like a
colorblind.
dog.
Okay.
Rather see him black and white all the time.
Okay. I asked that because of your obviously going to plug you and your your photography business here, but with the visuals, I figured you might not want to lose the ability to see color so that you can continue to take photographs and especially some stunning displays.
Oh,
That's why I asked if you would rather want to be able to continue to see.
well, I'd have to retire that profession probably,
Yeah,
or
it might
have,
not.
or hire someone to do the editing for me, and I take the pictures because I could still do that in black and white.
Yeah,
Maybe it would still be hard.
maybe.
But
but you're quitting it. So that's
I'm
2
gonna quit
quit
it.
its and 1 with it. That's fine. Okay.
Thought you had
All right,
something
Drew.
there, huh?
What's up?
What? No. Keep
Huh?
going.
What? Huh? All right. Number 4. Sure, you heard the devastating news that came out in the past couple of days. The Rangers ace that they spent $185 million on is done for the year. Tommy John. Old Tommy John affected Jacob deGrom. Well, Drew, as opposed to continuing their plans for the future, the Rangers should trade some of their prospects for an ace to replace deGrom this year and kind of go back to what you said a couple weeks ago about they're a playoff team, a World Series contending team this year potentially. Do you throw that all in the air for the ace this year, or do you hold on to the prospects and wait for deGrom to come back next year?
Wait it out.
So you say
Wait it
no,
out. You
not
play.
trade for an ace, quit it.
That's correct. I'm quitting it. Don't trade for an ace. Just pitch with what you got. The squad's been balling even without deGrom. So I mean, I'm confident in what they're doing right now. And then you just add deGrom to that mix next year. Everybody gets a little bit more experience with deGrom out of the way, and it just makes the squad better. And they're hitting phenomenally. I mean, if you can make a little run, if you can make a little, win a playoff series or something, then come back next year with Jacob deGrom and everybody's just better. I mean, and healthy, and continue the plan. Then I'm going to be with that. But I'm going to quit your question.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm right there with you too. I think if anything they're going to try to bolster up the bullpen, but I've been impressed. Like I told you when you asked me the question, I've loved what I've seen of Dane Dunning kind of filling in as that spot starter in his place. They've got pitching talent and prospects that they've brought up to kind of fill in as needed as well. And I don't necessarily think they're as bad a shape with deGrom not being able to go the rest of the year as a lot of people think they are. So I'm also going to quit it and say that there's more immediate needs in the bullpen as opposed to trading for ace.
Quit joining in the game. You're asking me the questions. You don't get to quit anything.
All right, Drew. You ready? Last but not least for number 5.
Yeah.
This is the one that might break the internet. Number 5, Drew. Matt Rife is an overrated comedian. With it or quit it?
Goodness. Quit it.
What? Quit it?
I'm gonna say quit it.
You've been a hater of Matt Rife.
No,
I think.
This is so misconstrued. I am not a hater of Matt Rife at all. I used to watch him on Wild 'N Out. I watched him when he was not that good. He has blown up recently because of TikTok.
And because of suburban moms that find him hot.
Yeah, I would say he is funny. I do find the videos that I've seen funny, yes. And he's probably said something a while out that I thought was funny, but as far as the overall cast, he was not one of the funnier ones. He was definitely bottom tier. But, the only thing that I've been pointing out lately is that they're not actual comedy fans, and it's only because Matt Rife is they're attracted to Matt Rife. Yeah, the veneers, his cheekbones, he's been whatever, if Matt Rife was 300 pounds, would you be wanting to go to his concerts and be like, "Oh, Matt Rife, you're so cute"? Probably not.
I don't
I'm
know.
just making the point that most of these people, a lot of the, I don't want to say most, I'm putting a lot of people in a category. There's been a lot of people that I've seen that I don't believe to be comedy fans and have never seen to be comedy fans and are suddenly just now comedy fans because the person that they think is attractive is making them laugh, and now all of a sudden they want to buy his tickets and go to a show like they've always been a big fan of all this stuff. Meanwhile, people like me who actually go to comedy shows used to watch all the seasons of Wild 'N Out ever since it got on the air. So I definitely knew who he was before he even blew up on TikTok, and have been to actual comedy shows. Shout out to the Arlington Improv in Arlington. It just makes me laugh because they came out of the woodworks, and it's just comical to. I'm not hating. It's not. It's not. It's just being real that like a lot of y'all weren't actual comedy fans until Matt popped up. Because like the reasoning I'm hearing for like him being liked, you're like, like I really started, I've got interest in going to a concert, or like, I wasn't into comedy until I watched Matt Rife. Like, and they're saying like it's because he's involving the fans and like making fun of the fans. Like every comedian does that. What do you mean? Like so.
Some people that are in comedy are getting to the point because of maybe not their fans, but the way that you kind of have to walk on eggshells a little bit, which isn't comedy. You
Yeah,
have to be at least a little bit controversial enough to get attention without being too controversial and to be that you're not funny, but it's a fine line, and that's why it's like there's always involvement. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that.
yeah. So all comedians do that. They did that when I went to the Improv. I went and saw Faison Love. He was making fun of the front row. I mean, that's what comedians do. It's part of the
Hmm.
whole thing. Like they come up
That's
there
their
with their
routine. That's their
jokes, but they're
act.
definitely coming to make fun of people in the crowd. A lot of people
Yeah.
do that a lot of the time. In comedy, but
Yeah.
um, it was just like all of a sudden everybody's comedy fans now that this attractive person that they think is attractive that's doing comedy that they found on TikTok viral. You're all of a sudden comedy fans. But us real
They
comedy, real comedy fans out here been watching Wild 'N Out since like 2010. Us real comedy fans done been to a comedy show, and I still think Matt Rife is funny. Like I'm not hating. I do think he is funny. It's just like admit that you're on the bandwagon though. Just admit that you're on the bandwagon. It's really kind of it.
like I said, it could have been a
But I'm
very
not being a hater at
controversial
all.
question.
I'm not being a hater at all. I just want to make that clear.
I understand.
I
I understand. That's
Yeah.
Hey, I asked a
Watch the videos.
question. You gave
No,
an answer.
yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just
I,
saying. Hey, streets just saying. Streets saying a whole lot.
well, Drew,
Crazy.
that is with it or quit it, and
And that's
that.
the episode.
Hmm.
Uh,
Absolutely.
I want to watch Wild 'N Out. Go watch Wild 'N Out. I still watch the clips.
You're gonna have a
I
wild and
still
out
I
marathon,
still
huh?
watch the clips sometimes on YouTube. To be honest.
Yeah.
It's funny. They're still going with seasons. They got a
My
new
goodness.
cast and they just did a new season, or they're doing one right now. So
No, funnier than SNL, right?
they're still
Absolutely
rolling.
has to be.
I don't watch SNL enough to compare the two.
I mean, I watched a little bit of SNL, like some like old clips from back in its heyday,
So
but I
on
haven't
YouTube.
watched anything. Yeah, they're all on YouTube.
Okay. Well, BJ,
They got episodes on Peacock as well.
all you peeps out there that checked out the episode, appreciate you. Make sure you're following us on social media. If you watched us there, make sure you're subscribed or you're liked our page over there on Facebook or YouTube, or if you're on Twitch, make sure you uh, give us a follow over there on that account as well as the rest of the others, as well as the others that we have: Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well. All above there if you're watching over there right now, and if you're listening on the podcast platform, you know the drill. You know the drill. We appreciate you guys getting closer and closer to episode 100 of the Lowdown, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Just a few more, and we're there.
Yeah, that's
We're
crazy,
there in
man.
just a few more episodes, 100 episodes into the Lowdown. And once again, shout out to SeatGeek, our new partners. Make sure you guys go out there, and if you go into a sports game or whatever event that you can book on SeatGeek, make sure you're using code the Lowdown in all caps to get $20 off your first order. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Appreciate you joining us for this episode, and we will catch you again next time for another edition of the Lowdown Sports Show.